This shit crazy. But I had to continue this live, bro. Like, I am my charger. Now battery dead. This is what I was saying. I can't really remember where I left off though. But I was talking about the red light and the green light on the physical state. Because the thing that happened in 2017, a gamma hit, because that's when the tribulation is what I be teaching be on some pyramid. Damn, that shit loud. But what I be teaching be on some um, pyramid, science type shit. You feel me? So that's why I go back to the 369. Okay, because that's just a simulation of what I'm trying to say, if and like an illustration of what I'm trying to say, because everything works like that. Because the thing is, it works in trinities. Okay, because you can't get the six without the three, can't get the nine without the three. The 12 is also just a three, just in a higher. So when back to the cherubim wheel, Ezekiel cherubim wheel, that's talking about carbon. Okay, so you have four states. I mean, 4 quarters in a year, right? That 4 quarters that they be tying to ties to energy. Okay, entertainment purposes only, but yeah, it ties back to energy. So, but these gates, just like your Lions Gate, it starts to open up July 27th, and then is strengthened up by August 8th, right? And it stays open for about 27 days, so to say. So you have four of those a year. The Lions Gate faces dealing with the beast, right? The dragon, the Dracon, right? It's dealing with the beast. But then it's also talking about carbon, okay? It's just they try to manipulate with the lunar eclipse or with the moon, okay? Because a lot of that shit hits on the ground level. So when it hits on the ground level, it activates shit because we're in the middle of this energy cycle. If you look at my symbol, I have an upside down triangle, which looks like a symbol for a pyramid. It's the um, it's the symbol for the Greek word delta. Okay, and delta is one of the words that they've been using for this scam demic. Okay, so delta actually means denoting a new energy, right? In the direction it proceeds in science. Okay, and in math it means change. So when it deals with the x, it deals with change and movement. Okay, so that's what's happening when the delta energy, because delta also means ultraviolet. UV means ultraviolet. Okay, so it also means radio communications. It also ties to the hedging method in business and business management and the changing of the underlying asset dealing with the product or with the price. Okay. And that also deals with a lot. So the symbol, right? The upside down triangle you might see in comedic stuff and shit like that is dealing with the UV. Okay. That's representing the sun. Okay. So when you have your ground pyramids, is dealing with the ground, but dealing with a parallel below is going to have a pyramid down also. So that's when you go back to the diamond, right? Up top and then a down low dome. You feel me? So, because it's really is a parallelogram. It's kind of like a rectangle, but it deals with all the shapes because these hexagon like all the shapes that come together is just 180 plus another. This is dealing with 360. It just keeps adding a higher frequency the more alignments it has to that shape because those shapes come together as vortexes, right? So that's just like the stars. Just like when we're in 6D, UV on the east is at a 7 and higher. Really higher than that, but they be trying to make the wind chill. But mostly what you be seeing with that even there still is a 7 or 6 at the lowest. Okay. So that being said, that's dealing with uh 6 stars plus one denoting, or 5 stars plus one denoting, right? Because it has to form it has to form trinities. You feel me? So as the trinity rises, it goes into a higher state, right? Because the kundalini rising on the planet. So peep game. The red light was dealing with, because what I said in the video before, 2017 was the beginning of the tribulations. So the first 3 years formed a pyramid or a triangle that denoted a higher state because it has to form in trinities, right? So that one and that two, one and two, just like it's a reflection of you, okay? Like a Gemini thing, the twins, because that represents your brain and you actually connecting your parallels, just like your spine. Keep a strong back, keep a strong stomach. Keep a strong stomach, you want to keep a strong back, okay? So left and right, because it's connecting above and below, okay? So boom, left and right is your A and B, is your one and two. But when one and two comes together, it forms energy, right? So we gonna say the first three, the 2017 started with a triangle down, because I was saying a triangle up at first or a pyramid up. So the triangle down is A plus B, mu and nu, mu and nu, denoting making the triangle down. That's a gamma. C represents gamma, okay? 72. That's where the pole shifting to on the planet, because it's a reflection of you. This is why public notice, y'all, I I forbid y'all from even fucking with me or my people or anyone on this land. Because you dead ass just messing with my body. You are not allowed to do anything. Keep on doing it and you will be gone instantly. Like, because you dead ass, I'm really aware of this, that this is my body. This whole realm is my body, is our body. Like, is my body, man. This whole realm. Because it's inputs and outputs. Talking about the just Schumann resonance. All they did was add a S and a C to it. The human resonance, the shit that resonates with my DNA, which is how the DEA device, because it's really DEA. So the DEA device with the moon tying to this, it's just y'all activated the one we created. So going back talking about, I heard somebody say the elite's about to shut it down. No, their shit's it's an automated system. It's going to blow up. You feel me? It's an automated system. This is why, as the frequencies go up, they have to match energy to the timeline and to the timeline. They're set to a scheduler. They're bots. You feel me? It's a scheduler, and the scheduler goes off of frequencies because it's tied to the manipulation of the grid, dealing with the moon. You feel me? It's a manipulation of the backside of the sun. So that's what I'm saying. Reflections of we, reflections of me, reflections of you, reflections of I. We're all saying the same shit though. But anyways, so that that pyramid, right, denotes a gamma, right? Because the C A plus B equals C, gamma. So it's the same thing with the stars. It's the same thing with one, two, three, gamma, right? Because C represents gamma. Okay, when it comes to this math I'm talking about. So that's back to the pole shift in 72. So this denotes, and then it goes into a higher state when it denotes D, the fourth letter. The four is tied to it. It's not really bad because the four also just represents the rebirth going into a higher state. That's what the 12 plays in part. That's what your 12 zodiacs play in part. Because is is four elements, and then it has four elements with three different signs. Those are just representing trinities of that one symbol. So if anything, it's four signs, which is the elements. Okay, it's just the fifth is dealing with the plasma and it's dealing with the blood. But the elements, you have to realize that creates the blood and the plasma and all this extra, the ethers. You feel me? Everything works together. There's no division when you're creating something like this. And that's how your body works, is how we're being able to even create this world with our mind being here. Okay, so like we're going into a higher state. The 7 year tribulation is talking about the energy cycle going into 7D, dealing with the seven ethers. But the thing is, when that 456, which is what we're in right now, you know, the 456 is going to hit with a CeeLo. I don't know if y'all remember XXX or Rashad Jamal even talking about a C note being in reverse, right? So we're going to say 2017 triangle up, 2016 triangle down. I mean, 2023 triangle down, because that's going to be the gamma, right? The ground sent the frequency up and then that came back down, but they tried, that's really what started breaking the firmament 2017 even more, right? And there's going to be a huge heat wave on it real soon because we already experienced this 2017, but y'all have to peep what I'm saying with frequencies, okay? Um, because the frequency matches the year, okay? So say it was a global consciousness timeline project being on the people and the DNA resonated with it. So I mean, I know we're traveling actually through dimensions and gates right now. We getting closer to home or getting closer to setup. I'm not gonna say anything dealing with that, but wherever we're getting to is heating up. We're getting exposed to more radiation as we get closer, right? I don't know if y'all have been looking at the aura of the sun. There's always a rainbow around. That's why they got the clouds. But if you peep where the rainbow is, it's so far back. Like, say it used to be like, say that's the sun. It used to be closer right here. Now it's like outside of the fan type shit. Like that shit like back here. Like I even got a video that hit like it got a lot of views real fast, actually. But I mean not a lot of views, it's like a couple of thousand, maybe like 1,000. That's more than most of my videos right now. I don't pay for shit on here, but um that's is way wider. You feel me? It's like some portal type shit. So when 2017 hit, a gamma hit. So no. All right, 2017 was triangle down because the red light hit. It was only red because of the frequency it was in. That's what's making it's going to be the green light because it's in a higher frequency because we able to be exposed to the sixth dimension. The sixth dimension is not talking on a lower state because it's angstroms to the number. It's just like 6 million can tie down to six depending on how you view time. But time in my eyes is measurements and shit. So I'm using this shit as a measurement. I'm using dimension as a measurement, not as a me trapped and stuck in this time and shit. You feel me? I'm only speaking of it so you have be conscious and aware of it so you're not stuck in the time. You feel me? So the thing is like triangle down 2017, boom. Triangle up equinox 2020 equinox. Now 2023 doesn't end till April because that's when the cycle ends. The six goes denotes the seven, right? And when the six settle, 7, 8, 9 begins to open. Why I say that? Because the next, I never said it like this, but I always said it even when I was confused about what I was saying. But like because it just made sense to me. We got when 1, 2, 3 is 2017 to 2020. 4, 5, 6 is dealing with this CeeLo that's about to hit, right? Because that deals with the manipulation, just like 1899. Okay, when it was a scientist just wanting to fuck with niggas' heads and shit, just because he was intrigued with DNA, kind of like some Yakub shit. So the 4, 5, 6 is dealing with a green light only because the frequency is higher, is in a higher state. Okay, and that's dealing with the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth. But it's a trinity. It's the 4, 5, 6 trinity that's hitting to settle on a physical state. Okay, and when that settles on a physical state, it opens up 7, 8, 9. But on a timeline, 4, 5, 6 dealt with some whole other shit. Feel me? Like past time shit. Like not too long. Like 1, 2, 3. Nah, yeah, 4, 5, 6 was the awakening. But it BC and AD is just dealing with the parallel, dealing with what's going on right now. We're just in the common denominator, dealing with a common era or the CD. You feel me? So, Cause the CD is like the fold, and now we in the CE type shit, common era, where everything is gonna make common sense moving forward. It's gonna hurt, but that's why I say you need to come to peace with it now, not try to run away from it, cause that's gonna block your intuition, your awareness. When you get tired and the fear and anxiety and all that shit, that blocks your chakras. So that's why people say stay in higher vibrations because you have to be in a higher vibration and the positive. Because you can be working on your physical and you just like, yeah, but you can still be mentally fucked up and have triggers and shit because you have attachments to your soul, which is attachments to your chakras mentally, which ties to your cells and your cellular reproduction and your nervous system. You feel me? So back to the green light. The green light is just dealing with uh the six, because the six is at the non-power, right? When the green light hits, because 2017 aligns with it, or even with the human resonance. 2017 is going to align with 2023, but it's going to be 2024, the Gregorian way. But how I say the year doesn't end till April, because it's April to April. So, or April to March. So, like, it's still going to be in the six. The seven denotes on the physical state. It has to go through its cycle for it to be on the physical state. But there's going to be way bigger, like, portals is already setting in place stuff. You feel me? It's just going to be opening on some quantum shit. You feel me? Some Doctor Strange. You feel me? Like, so, when 4, 5, 6 hit, that's like saying a green light because it's in a higher frequency. The nine is going to be like the purple light. You feel me? Because the thing is, yeah, you got the Akashic records and shit, but it's really, that's just a name for the shit. It's you, it's your memory. You feel me? But this timeline and these frequencies, because we're in a little cron system, right? That's what it's dealing with, Chronica or Chronos. Chronica, female version like Mortal Kombat, and yeah, Chronos. I be thinking it's a female whole time, uh, but like the thing is, like, it's not the Akashic records, it's you. You feel me? It's you signed to your DNA. Akashic records is just the ones that is in that shit. Like the real people against you, like the witches and all, like the bad witches and shit, and sorcerers and stuff like that. You feel me? Just like how they try to make, they be like a evil little priest looking nigga with the robe, or like another type of Jedi type shit, and they got they they be doing like some sorcery to see like in the mirror or inside of a ball or something like that. That's like a Kasha record type shit, or like the Matrix. I mean, that nigga in the white suit, he was like Chronos. You feel me? And like he was like representing all the time and all that extra shit. Cause that's what happens when 5D activates and you. I'm not saying like I'm not saying 5D as like you're stuck, and I'm saying as a measurement of frequencies and hertz tying to your DNA, and also tying to, because the thing is, your frequency has to be able to open the gates within you. So that ties into a trinity, a balanced state mentally, physically, right? And then you being grounded with the fucking firmament. Because the magnetic, the what's that shit called? The the ozone layer and shit. Whatever does the magnetic field that's blocking, you feel me, is tearing down, right? But that ties to it too, manipulation of it. Because the atoms and shit that's floating around is part of our body too. You feel me? It's the air of the blood. It's the representation of your blood. The same shit that's in your blood and be in the air. It's just in a different state. Okay? It's the output of you though. That's why the firmament or the manipulation, that's how they been able to even manipulate. But now that it's breaking, is allowing the real light to come through. The UV is already up. Is already up. You feel me? The firmament's breaking down. So is allowing more energy in. That the shit that they've been trying to block is allowing it in. You feel me? Now is helping it break even more because we the controllers of it. We the control. They can't manipulate your energy unless you don't know who the fuck you are. Once you realize who you are, your name is just power as it is, nigga. You it's reflections of you. You walking in your body. Let's look at yourself as a cell in a body. You're the atom. You're the atom. You feel me? You're the atom. That's why I said niggas fell and ate the wrong fruit. That's how we fell into this state and inside this crime system, right? In our own memory, the Akashi records. Nigga, that's just you, bro. If they have access to it, then they're doing some Chronica shit or some Chronos type shit. You feel me? And then the Xenia plays in ties with the Xeno and the Xenobot, because that's the Zetia, the medicine for the shit. You feel me? It's the medicine for it. So, not saying to be scared, because what are you doing when you get scared? You're tying yourself back to that shackle. Emotional attachments to the soul that don't need to be there. It's in the way. It's blocking awareness. So to get back on point, this green light is gonna denote 789, right? 789 is pretty much what's going to break it, okay? But it's gonna be a rebirth of the nine, because it's gonna go to what you would say is a repeat, but nah, it's just gonna keep going higher and higher and higher. Feel me? It's just this is the beginning of it. You feel me? Because the sun is really a G4. So when we get exposed to the real sunlight, it's going to break that timeline and have us back to where we were at once. You feel me? The works is being done to put everything back into place, back to normal. But the shit ain't never over because of these quantum jumps. I mean, it's going to be over, but I'm just saying the enemy, that energy, if it's not destroyed, it's still going to be someone trying. That's why I say this A and B shit, how I see it, is not going to really, this A and B shit, there's going to be a lot of people still on some twin type energy. A and B, you feel me? Left and right, two different sides, light and darkness. Um, but hopefully they can find balance because that's what the Trinity represents. And when 3, 2, 1 open up, you already see the seas and everything, the portals above starting to like open up more. It's just that's just the start of it, right? When six settles, when 7, 8, 9 is open, and three, that means 3, 2, 1 is going to be open. You feel me? 4, 5, 6 just hits the balance. That's why I say it's the green light. And shout out to the green light movement with Young Elder in phase 1. But I'm not. I feel you on the movement part. I'm fucking. I'm with the movement. You feel me? But I'm just saying, like, that's just chakra talk. You feel me? Just like the fruits know what to do from the color. You can peep with the fruit you need just by the color if you peep the chakras. You feel me? Everything is all reflections. Just like the gamma, it gets you back to your gamma state, the fruit. Like a lot of greens and shit like that. You feel me? Like really all of them. Because it starts to clean up your chakras, clean up your organs, clean up so you can get back in tune with this UV. Because it allows you to go higher when you're in a higher vibration mentally and physically. The more you take in, it goes higher. So it'd be like, oh, it's 5D, so I'm taking in 5D. Like, no, nigga. The thing is not 5D light. Is is in a higher interval than what it was before, than what you was dealing with. It's just ain't no number greater than 9. But when it goes past 9, it goes into a higher interval still. It goes into a higher state still. Just that's why they have the tens and the hundreds and the thousands because it's representing a higher state, nigga. It's just the measurement is I'm going off 3, 6, 9. Okay, so 6 is dealing. It still deals with the ethers too, but it deals with the V2 shift. The only reason it's gonna be a shift because it's gonna skip about 47 years into the future. But I'm only saying future on a three-dimensional state. Okay, I'm not meaning as a future. Where are if I was to explain it to someone, I would say we in the future, right? And the energy is getting back to home, back to us where we at. It's just we're changing the future. Cause say if we had a future self and a past self, and we could change our future, change the reality in your future by going back in the past, right? And doing things the better way. So in the outcome, it'll be better. But a lot of shit is already set in play. So you have to do it in your present. You can't just go back in time. You can remember the shit you did back in time. You feel me? Because if you remember the stuff you did back in time, then you'll be able to change it in the present. That's just like saying, I wish I knew the things I know right now when I was younger. Okay. So a lot of people that's younger is just gonna be able to access their memory even more that's coming in right now. If you peep these babies that's on some whole other shit, boom. All right, so like, cause they coming in on a higher frequency. Uh, when the energy is being denoted to the mom and the father, and creating that high vibration to continue what the memory was trying to do in the first place, the DNA within that body was trying to do in the first place. It's pretty much a continuance of you. That's why you have a whole bunch of people that look the same and shit. And then it'll be a reflection with the other races of beings and shit. It'll be a reflection. Because I feel like you go into every state is always a copy of another nigga. Really, white people. I see the same white people in every state. Like that ass. Like this shit kind of weird though, cause it'd be like whatever state I go to will be the same white people. That shit be crazy. No offense to my white people, but do anybody else feel that way? Like even white people, do y'all be seeing the same white people when you go to another state, bruh? Like I'm not even trying to be funny right now. I'm like dead ass. I see the same fucking white people when I go to different states, bro. Like this shit, this shit getting weird though. Cause I know how clones even work. Cause it's like that's how we naturally clone. So when you have clones unnaturally in robots, cause the robot is tied to that shit too. So it's like, cause it's replications of you. When you to even build that, you have to understand energy. I mean, you can understand how electricity and shit like that work, but if you actually going into it even more, you have to tie into the DNA with this shit. That's why they do hella research, because when they can get it on their data system, then they can get it into a fucking bot, into a cron system, into a software. You feel me? To download. You feel me? So like this shit getting weird, bro. Cause these downloads is a replica of natural shit too. They're trying. This is research on us still. This whole shit is just they touched some shit they wasn't supposed to. So now we just have to get through the tribulations. And most of this shit about to break now, bro. From now to April, it's just I feel like in them other countries, from anything that's dealing with the Greenwich line, the universal line on their regular map, anything on the right of it, I feel like they about to deal with some whole other shit first, but we gonna start dealing with what they were dealing with already. Because say we're in the six, they're dealing with the seven already denoting. So they deal with it first, and we deal with it. Yeah. But whole time I got a theory now on the shit I be saying. I feel like it may reverse every Trinity. Because it's like a polar type of reverse type shit going on. But I feel like every trend, because even the symbolism I just said, it did reverse. So you got your pyramid down first 3 years, and then you got 2020, you got your pyramid up. Now 2023, you're gonna have your pyramid down. That's just reversing energies, right? Because when the seven denotes itself by April, that's gonna start a new triangle. So that's gonna start representing the triangle up because when the energy, the UV hit the ground, it's gonna signal the kundalini to rise up. But that's why you're seeing all these storms and shit happen now, because in the wrong season, there ain't no fucking season. It's just a tropical planet. You feel me? It's supposed to be hot. They're creating this wind chill, this soul chill with a current. You put it in the air, it flows with the current, the six and the nine. You feel me? It flows with the waters in the higher state, the sea. Okay? And then the Pisces dealing with the current in the water also flows with that too. Or like, you feel me? So it's magnetism. Okay? So when you put it in a current, it flows with the current. So that's why it could be cold in the west and then be hot in the east and then be hot in the east and then cold in the east and then be hot in the west. Or then they might have it cold in the west and the cold in the east, and then you got tornadoes that's happening on Route 72 because that's where the poles shifting to 72. And if you look by Florida, it goes up that coast going to Texas, and then it goes to the Tornado Valley, which seem like Trail of Tears or something, or the Meridian. You feel me? The Tornado Valley that goes from like Texas to down Ohio and shit. That's like the Meridian. Uh, Dealing with the 33rd. So they make highs and lows, right? So they can try to block this shit. But when the flares hit, it creates weather. Because when air is air, but when plasma and air comes together, it creates wind or life force. You feel me? Ether. Okay. So when that comes together, just like your hands can push out life force because the force is within. You feel me? It could push it out and it could get stronger and stronger and stronger as your cellular reproduction, your cells reproduce and as a positive variant. A positive variant means you're activating. A negative variant means nothing happens. You still in your neutral state, like you just living, being a witness. A negative variant means your body is shutting down, okay, because it can't get the charge, right? I'm gonna say positive is X, negative, you feel me? So peace, peace, peace. Hold on. Yeah, so my theory, new theory going on this shit. Because as the symbols I was saying, it does reverse, which just represents UV hitting down, then the ground picking up the signal and then denoting itself into a higher state because it's going to send up the energy back up for it to come back down. Okay, we're in between of it being a controller of that. The clouds is like the blockages or like blockages in your body dealing with your sodium channels, right? But back to this air and how the weather, like the air deals with all the elements to even create the air. But to create wind, it deals with plasma coming off the sun. So it's really solar winds that's creating that ether, right? We're dealing with it. Yeah. So it's like just like the water is in play, is in a higher state. It's just these clouds is being in between to manipulate the body, just like it's in between and intervening you inside of you. It's just when you're cleaning up your body inside of you, you can clean up the body outside of you because it's you. Okay. So that ties back to protecting the planet and shit like that. But I forgot I named this part two of the X Flare. Oh, I'm so off topic. But let's get back on point. The X Flare that hit 2017 created the red light. Okay. The red light was dealing with a frequency. Because when you look at frequency, the red is a lower frequency, not saying is weak, but saying it's a lower frequency compared to the other spectrums of light. So that being said, the red light that hit was dealing with a gamma ray that was coming through to break the firmament. Really just natural energy to start up the harmonic frequencies because the frequencies that comes from the sun is dealing with harmonic frequencies just like music. Okay. So that's why it's a reflection of music. That's why it says is inputs and outputs to your body because that's how it operates. Everything operates dealing with energy that way. Okay. And you're just pure energy inside this body. And this body actually forms off energy if you're a fucking bot or if you're a real human being. Like whatever type of being you are, your body still forms off of energy. Okay. It's just how much energy can your body take. But that ties to what is in your body to even stop your body from even operating the way it's supposed to operate. So when it came to this red light, it was a red light that activated light that hit the pineal and was able to see through the walls. Okay, seeing another person on the other side of the wall and them putting the key inside the door. That was activation, right, of what was to come to pass in the future, right? But it was something real that didn't happen in the cosmos. It was happening in the physical, right? I always wonder where the fuck that shit came from. When I learned about snakes, I opened my eye to see the why they use the snake. So my perspective of the snake, not saying I know a whole bunch of things about snakes, it's just something that opened my eye up was the experience that took place. So the pit organ from a snake deals with the pineal gland and is a representation of the pineal gland. It does the same thing as the pineal gland. It transfer infrared light. So that's why I say snakes are not really blind. They just read frequency. Okay, they read frequency. Period. All right, they read frequency. They can see you. They're just looking at you in fucking rainbows or some type of heat sensor light. You feel me? They could probably see through walls and everything. Okay, so but the thing is, they're not seeing it how we look at each other. They see it in the whole light spectrum. Okay, so it would seem like they're blind, but they're not. Just like how Neo was in the third Matrix, he got blinded, and he was still able to see and continue doing the works. Then he wasn't blind anymore after that. I don't think he was. I can't remember if he was or not. Um, but he was still able to see with a blindfold on. He was seeing with frequency. Okay, so that being said, it didn't last that long for me, and I figured out it came from an X flare, right? So I feel like it didn't last that long because the ozone layer was up more than it is now. So when this green light hit, it's gonna is gonna be at a higher frequency because that's what's being allowed to come into the firmament now. So that means they're gonna be trying to block it even more. So it's gonna be more storms and stuff like that. Crazy shit, most likely because of the clouds they're trying to put up. So that deals with a lot of flooding too, and hurricanes and tornadoes. Okay, so back to point, when the green light hit, my theory is it ties to a shift because I have a timeline dealing with 6D that the DNA picks up on, and this is some shit that they're fucking studying. I just ended up going in the cosmos and seeing this shit. So, goddamn, the thing is, these hertz that they're going off. So the 6D is because it's set to their automatic system because the frequency that's hitting. So it's speeding up the pole shift. So it's speeding up their time here. So it's making it if time is speeding up for them in that manner, that means that they're running out of time because they're running out of time to do shit because they was wanted it to last longer on this realm, but the energy is going up to where they can't even like live the way they wanted to on this realm. So it's like as the energy goes up, you feel me, everything breaks, right? But they're trying to set things in play because it's aligning with the timeline and years. So the things you think that you've been seeing in your dreams that's tying to apocalypse is tying to what happened in the six. Okay. The thing is, the six could deal with the 1800s and all the way back, or deal with BC, uh, the ninth period, the sixth period of time, the fifth and sixth period of time, dealt with all these creatures that you ain't never seen before. That's what I'm saying. History tells what happens because it's been a dimensional thing. They just set it to the timeline, okay? Especially when shit like this goes on where you have an opportunity to ascend. Happens every 27 years for me. But it started to break when the 7 year tribulation started to break, okay? Because you know they actually build the magnetic field with clouds. Because what comes down affects the body, and what goes up affects the crown. It blocks the crown, you feel me? And creates a dome, you feel me? So, that being said, this green light that's hitting is activating a balance, but it's also is when it's tying to their system and their devices that's in people and all that's buildings and all that, that deactivates. You feel me? That's when he's talking about hacking and all this extra shit. Because they're actually operating with devices that's taking in more energy, anyways. Because they already set it up to play. It's just it's going to get introduced here because we're on the left side of the Greenwich line on the Gregorian of how they got shit set up and play. But in reality, we're on the east. But on the Gregorian map, we on the left. So we dealing with the six settling, they're dealing with the seven settling. That's why you're seeing more shit in China and stuff like that because the West is getting destroyed. But we're not really the West. We're in the promised land. I mean, shit's still gonna get destroyed though, but it's not gonna destroy. Obviously, if anything, it just rebuild. But yeah, so 1890 to 1980s is 2 quarters, and then the last two is what we dealing with now. The last 6 months. Well, the last two, yeah, we about to go into the rebirth. January. It's just when the months of the nine is over. Say, say, because it's a 12-month cycle. So the nine is the third quarter, which is 2070 hertz. But the DNA resonates with it as the year 2070, while we're going to be in the year 2024. You feel me? So, but really in reality, it's still going to be 2023 because it's April to April. But just so you can understand, when we go into 2024, that's when the DNA is going to resonate like we're in the year 2070 on some global consciousness shit. So like it's gonna be like a skip from where we're at now to the eh, future. You feel me? So it's going to be like everything past that is going to futuristic shit. So that means your body needs to be ready to go on this other side of the parallel. Hold on, I got people. Alright, so alright, so look. So we in 2023. That's a common place. So when the hurts get to 2023, that's when some bullshit gonna happen. But they gonna start moving in how they been already saying, like the other people like China and Iran and shit. They're gonna start moving in when it gets to 2070 hertz. So me, this is all what I'm reading energy for y'all, bruh. I'm reading the code on a whole nother level. That's what, it might sound crazy, but it's so simple if you just listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying some extra shit, but I'm not trying to make it complex. And it's not complex if you just literally listen to what I'm saying. Okay? Because this shit is real, bro. And the DNA is going to pick up. Because you think you in 2023 already. 2023 is just a measurement so they could prepare where it was going to happen. Like these years we've been going off is already set in play. We've been going off these years, but the whole Kron system is tied to a timeline, which is like 4,000 years, about 4,000 years. It's really 3,693 years. Okay? And when it gets to what you call the 10th dimension, you feel me? That's when it denotes itself into a higher state. That's when it breaks. And the 10th dimension, it goes into the G force. We get introduced to G4 ultraviolet light. We already seeing it. It's just way bigger than what the fuck you think it is. It's like Lion King big. It was already shown 2020. A lot of people may seen it pop up for about like 5 seconds. I ain't even have enough time to pull out my phone. I was on the highway, but I know I wasn't tripping what I saw. It's just the illusion that broke. The sun big as shit, bruh. The real sun, that junk big as shit. So look, so look, so a lot of shit is going to activate, and I feel like it's going to be, because I know as the UV been hitting, is more of a permanent state. And if you're in a higher vibration, you like, and you and your truth, knowing and being, it activates power. Because the power can't activate in a lie. It could, but that could cause self destruction or what you call karma. Because now you mentally operating in a whole nother energy, which goes on choices and decisions in life and shit. So like the thing is, this shit about to get crazy, bro. Like I don't even know like what to really fully think about it, but it's starting to shut down because like what we already was saying, like the thing is they said some shit in 2020 when they was going to release everything, and now they're talking about releasing it. Like they was talking about releasing it in October, November. But if y'all go off the shit trying to say, I mean you don't gotta go off, just keep my perspective of how I see it. I feel like January is October in reality. So it actually, if they release, if they release everything they've been saying, and from now to January, I'm gonna need everybody to cash up me $5. Nah, like cash at me at least $1, like for real, cause I think y'all maybe think I be capping, cause I said on when I was making this video, most of my old videos is when I was first thinking about it and I was going along with it. Just I didn't have space most of the time, or I didn't have my old tablet or something. So I would have to like screen record or go live. I kind of screen record a lot and shit. I don't know. Shit just got different. A lot of my videos got deleted, and yeah. So here I am repeating, not repeating, but explaining what might not have been understood. Because really, I'm saying what we're in right now, what we're dealing with right now. Reason why you have to be in balance, or this duality dealing with the three and the six is going to force you to, and you may not like how it's going to do so. But just remember who you are and what cleans you up, what destroys you, and shit like that. Because that's what you're gonna need to get in battle. Mentally, you should always match the heart and higher, because that's dealing with your love, or it's dealing with your passion, your truth, the eye to see, and you being in a crown state as a queen or god or goddess type shit, being in control of your energy. That's why you should be in a heart space and higher, okay? Because when you're in a heart space and higher, your lower your lower energies under the heart is not really lower energies. Those are just your generators, okay? To generate a higher state, because it's all awareness. It's your solar, your sacred, your rooted sacred energy deals with your heart, your truth, your eye to see, and your crown state. Okay, so be in the heart and higher, because that's what we dealing with. Like everything you was seeing beforehand dealt with maybe different past lives and everything, all from the denoted energy. Now the shit that you saw going higher, you're going to start seeing on the physical state. But understand, you have to be in peace. The way you're in peace is detaching it from illusions, because it's not truth. Once your truth is out of whack, your heart can get out of whack. I mean, not your heart, but you can start tying to some root type shit and the wrong energy, the reverse energy, and it's going to tie to your heart and your crown. Because those are the three main points. Okay, so as we go higher, because this is really going to happen. This is why I believe the V2 is the 2000 hertz, because that's what's getting denoted. Because the sixth cycle in the ninth state deals with December. Once December is over, it starts January, right? But December is September, and then that starts 10, 11, 12, right? Which is your 1, 2, 3, January, February, March. So that's the real timing to it. It's just they have to do a hedging method to evaluate the shit that's going on before they do so. Okay, so that gives them 3 months to do so, pretty much a whole quarter. But once you think it's not happening, that's when you get tied back to your old ways. So then, boom, that's when it happens. So like October being January, that's when all this shit gonna happen due to this lunar shit even breaking. You feel me? So like we skipping to 270, right? My theory is that's when they move in, but it's also dealing with a green light shift, a frequency shift. But the thing is dealing with a gamma. Gamma as a green frequency